Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm very excited about our next guest. And we were talking so much before the interview because I am always afraid of mispronouncing a band name, and we got it right. I don't know if I could get it right again, though. Now, after I just thought about it after talking, so I'm gonna say it, and then they can correct me. So let's welcome to the show Rav Nablok.
Thank you. That was very good.
Yeah, not too bad.
Like you weren't here yet, but I said to him before, I'm like, let me tell you how I think it sounds, and I'm sure it's wrong, so you can tell me the right way, because my worst fear is mispronouncing a band's name, you know?
Well, I don't know if we can blame you, because Icelandic isn't exactly spoken all over the world.
I know, right? and I'm like, I'm just giving it my best guess here. And I was pretty close. He'll tell you I was pretty close.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because after I said it, I was thinking about the, over the O, and I'm like, I should have said it bloat because I said blot. Okay. Mm-hmm. But then I thought about it afterwards. And so there you go. So, and I love that you're an Icelandic band because that's one of the places on my list that I want to go. And I gotta say, if you're a representative, man, some of the best music comes out of your country. I don't know if it's because, it's ice and you have nothing better to do but to sit around and make great music. But I mean, to me, like, it is always amazing the countries that are like in the northern part of the world always come out with some of the best music.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of huge contrasts in Icelandic culture and Icelandic nature, which are very fertile ground for music inspiration.
That's very cool. And so tell us what the inspiration was for you guys to get together and make this music.
It's really hard to say. I feel like, I don't know if it was some kind of because we're very happy with our album that is coming out and the singles that we have put out. And I don't know if it's like some kind of a mix of coincidence, but it just went like the songs just exceeded my expectations every time. And it was just all kinds of random things that just worked out. Like almost every suggestion was good. We didn't have to like edit a lot or change. Of course, we had to do it sometimes, but I just felt like every improvement or suggestion was just good. And I mean, the influences are from different directions, but somehow they worked out. So I don't know how inspired I am by the nature. I mean, sometimes people say it like there's a contrast in nature, which is an inspiration, which probably might be true, but I don't know if I see it from me, but me and Thorgnir too, I know we like Finnish music a lot, or like Finnish heavy metal, just to connect with what you were saying from the north. So I actually prefer that over Icelandic metal, but yeah.
Oh my God, that's great. And it's so funny because we were talking about when we were waiting for you before about one of the things I love about your music is that it combines like blending genres, which is becoming, I think, a thing now. Because for me, I like it because it creates that unique sound and everybody can put their piece into it that makes something great, opposed to some formula that was happening for a while. There's so many subgenres, microgenres, and this formula to make metal. Metal was never a formula. It was always experimentation. And I think because it came that way, it required newer bands to be more of like what you do and blend the genres. So again, you're being creative again, and you're experimenting again with something that's never been done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all have quite different tastes in music and metal subgenres, and when we started writing together and creating a sound, kind of just happened to sound the way it did. There was no real specific subgenre in mind at the outset. We crafted this weird blend of genres, going from old school heavy metal to black metal to symphonic stuff and power metal and whatever, that we call Sorcerer's folk metal, because we have a really strong interest in Icelandic folk culture, and especially Icelandic magic culture.
I think it was you who coined this name, because I was asking a few times. I was like, what do we play? What is it that we play, guys? Because Thorgnir, he listens to everything. Like, he's actually like an encyclopedia, which I would never have the patience for, because I'm just like, no, I don't like this. Don't make me listen to it. But he like sits through everything. It's something for legends or something. So I've been sometimes like, what are we? And they're like, we're a mix of this and this. I mean, the folk element was from the beginning. Everybody wanted to have it. That was kind of clear. But yeah, the interest in like death metal or power metal is different. It depends on who you ask. And we don't all like the same things, but it was strangely compatible, like how we managed to mix everything. But yeah, I think you came up with Sorcerer's folk metal, and I like it. I think it works.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's funny because I do a lot of festivals, and I've a lot of times like done this funny bit where in a band, because the subgenres and microgenres have gotten so ridiculous that like it's one band per genre. And so I would do this joke like, okay, if you had your own genre, what would your genre be? You know? And so like, that's kind of like what you did here. It's
exactly.
Like you just created your, and I love it too, because I even love the folk influences. Like I come from the years of the really serious gatekeeping and metal. And frankly, it was a bunch of bullshit. And I can't say I wasn't that way too. You had to be, because, you know, you're a teenager, you're, you know, your friends are like a perfect example. I saw Motley Crue before they ever even had an album, when they were like horror punk. And then when I found Slayer, my friends are like, oh, you can't listen to Motley Crue anymore. In fact, we got to take all your Motley Crue shit and burn it. Okay.
Yeah, very serious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you don't listen to this anymore. Yeah, no, you're gonna have to stop this.
That's it. And we're burning it all. You know.
Say goodbye to them.
And I remember saying, you can't burn my shit. Well, we're going to. And so, like, it's kind of cool now because, listen, we were talking about it before, like, metalheads like other kinds of music. And it really, the conversation was sprung by, he said, I like your shirt. Now, how many metalheads would say that about a Grateful Dead shirt? And I explained to him, I'm like, well, tonight I'm covering a show for Jack Johnson, so I figured wearing my Grateful Dead shirt would be better than my Possessed shirt for that. And but in the same token, like, I would go to Slayer shows on a Friday night and Dead shows on a Saturday. And we all have different vibes and different things. And who said what you have to freaking listen to? I am like a metalhead, true as can be, but I like all kinds of other stuff. So now, like, I just think of some of my favorite artists that you're blending into your music when I hear the word folk. Like, I think of people like Janis Joplin or you know, Bob Dylan or somebody like that. And like, yeah, they're not metal, but who cares? They're freaking awesome. You know?
No, I think it's important because I don't know, I sometimes have a feeling if you're only in your genre, let's say you listen only to your genre and your friends and maybe your bandmates, it becomes a bit like incestuous. It's just kind of, it's just like repeating the like narrow sound of this and this, and like from
Exactly.
the get-go, I don't know, it's like very much how I am. I really try not to get into that because I don't really see the point of making a song that is it is kind of another song that exists, but a little bit with your spin, but it brings almost nothing new. It's a little bit like, why bother?
Well, it's like being a cover band. Like
Exactly.
It's even funny that me, who has always been able to differentiate one band from another, but like we were also talking before, you take the big four of thrash, they didn't sound alike. They were similar, maybe. Metallica originally was considered power metal because there was no thrash metal. And to me, I would think, ooh, they're not really power metal. But, if you don't have something to put somebody in a box, an artist in a box, let's put them in this box, and I don't think art should have any box whatsoever. And you could play whatever music you want. I think as you grow as an artist too, you want to kind of jump out your comfort zone and experiment in a lot of different arenas and a lot of different areas. And that's what I think you guys are doing by combining all these things. You're creating something that nobody else is doing. It's kind of like one band that I really love that nobody can really compare to is Hylung.
Mm-hmm.
And like like the first time I saw them at Hellfest, you're having like some serious metalheads all there for their show. And that just proves something because, do I really consider them metal necessarily? Maybe, I don't know, but they're not what you would define as metal, but they're freaking killer because why? It's not like you were saying, it's not the same old thing anymore. It's not, as you put it, incestuous.
Yeah, there seems to be some kind of overlap between these kind of, what do you call them? Like Hylung or Vardruna, this kind of primitive, what do you call this music? You know what I mean? This kind of primitive nature music and metal with, I don't know, their primitive instruments. I don't know why there's an overlap. There must be some element of, I don't know, it's the primitive power, because you have that in metal a lot.
Yeah, look at the Who from Mongolia, and perfect example. And they're definitely metal, but they have all these cool instruments, and like I like it. Like I like it also seeing cultures of the world. I think music is a great representative of culture. Like, so the stuff you're doing is representative of where you are in the world, just like the Who is, just like Hylung is, So because to me, music is not only the best therapy, but the best uniter. And I think the best way for our world to unite, especially right now, is if we understand each other and understand the real cultures instead of the stuff that's fed to us. Like I travel everywhere, and when I travel, I don't go to tourist areas. I don't go to the American areas, what I call them, because like where the America is in that country. I go with the locals because you know what? I think we need to learn from each other and, learn the differences instead of what's all the same. And I think that's the same with metal. Why do we all have to have the same type of music in metal? Maybe we have all these different types so that we could basically share the best of everything all over the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I get sometimes we're listening to, because we share a lot of music, and it's this kind of, I don't know if I should say the name of the genre, but sometimes it feels very over processed, and some metal music that is popular now to me sounds like pop music that put like really heavy gent guitars at places to try to become a metal song. So maybe that's me being like the gatekeeping people, although I'm not gonna like make you burn any stuff. But you know what I mean? Like sometimes
it is kind of true though.
Is it really?
It is kind of true because there's one band, I won't name who they are, but they're really popular right now. And they are very brutal metal. Like the screaming is brutal. but they're like trying to break into the mainstream pop, and they are, and it's like it kind of blows my mind because I come from a time that if the music I listened to was played on the radio, I'm not listening to it.
Yeah.
And like it's funny because even like doing festivals, like when they're doing interviews, they only want the press with like the pop media outlets, like because they're trying to break in there, and they are, and it kind of blows my mind. But isn't that the antithesis of what we're doing here? And then there's this other band that I won't mention either. I don't get them at all personally, but they're like, oh my God, everybody loves them, like beyond love. And I don't even consider them metal. Like at least the other band I'm talking about, I consider them like pretty brutal metal.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I kind of agree with you with what you're saying. Like, why are we trying to be popular? Metal never tried to be popular. If it ends up popular, great. Like that's different. But trying, that's a whole different philosophy. I think you should just try to make the music that makes you express yourself.
Yeah.
And I mean it's like sometimes I speak to people and I do not relate at all when they're like, oh, I just vibe with whatever's on the radio. This I vibe with this, and that's for me is like the most casual listener thing. But I feel like with metal, of course, it doesn't apply to everyone, but I find it kind of obvious that in a large way it's like a medicine for the ones who listen to it. It's not for everyone. It is not, which I understand because it's very heavy music and some people, they just can't. It's just an attack. But for a lot of people, it is like a medicine. So for me, it's not exactly like a music that is produced to become popular, but it is like more medicinal, if anything.
I agree 1,000,000%. It's funny. I'm also a motivational speaker. And do you know how I get myself motivated and positive to go do a seminar? I will blast metal on the drive there. Okay.
Yes, that's what I do before work too, and it starts much better when I run. Exactly. Than if I don't.
Exactly. And then if something's going on in my life and I need to chill out, same thing. Like people are like, "How could you be listening to that?" Blah blah. I'm like, it relaxes me.
Yeah, sometimes if I pick up a friend and I have like a metal song and they're not into it, they're like, please stop it. Please, can you turn this off? I can't think.
Right? Yeah. Totally. It's so much for me that I have a rule. If I date a woman, that she has to be able to pass the test of coming in my vehicle with the metal blasting as loud as possible and not getting turned down.
Okay.
If she can handle that, she's in. If she can't,
that's a good test.
Yeah.
Because that's who I am. Like you can't change who you are. And like every time I get in the car, that's what I do.
Of course.
I've had, I was married to somebody that didn't like the music, and I would go to a show and she's like, you go without me. You'll have more fun that way. I'm like, yeah, that's not the right person. I don't want to be with somebody that will be more fun for me to do stuff by myself. And I certainly don't want to be with somebody that, I can only play my metal when it's just me.
Yeah.
So that is what's great about you guys, because your music, I'm going to have to use that now and blast that when I'm driving down the road with somebody and see if they can handle it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should use it as a test.
And I mean, circling back to
your test music.
Circling back to motivations behind making music. Our motivation all along was to create what we thought was cool.
Right.
And we're really excited to release the full album in September. Not because we're expecting vast oceans of money or millions of listeners, but just because
you mean Spotify's not going to give you millions in royalties?
Never say never, I guess, but no. But I mean,
that's why we started. We thought that when we started, then we found out it will give us maybe one drop of that.
Yeah. I mean, we just we're excited to release it because we think it's pretty cool, and we hope other people will find it pretty cool also.
Well, I
Even
think it's pretty cool. Now, here's what I want to do now. Now, let's see if I can butcher the album name, because that one too might be a little hard for me.
Yeah.
All right,
go
so I'm going
ahead.
to do a test. Guðlaugar. That was bad.
Guðlaugar Saga.
Yeah, the saga part I can do. That's easy.
Yeah.
So say the first one again.
Guðlaugar.
Guðlaugar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guðlaugar.
I can't say that 10 times fast.
Do you know what it means? It's a woman's name because it's the saga of Guðlaug, which is her name,
Right.
but the name actually means God pool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so Guðlaug means like God's pool.
That makes sense too.
Yeah.
It makes more sense when you say it than me looking at it, because when you say it, that's what it sounds like right there.
Yeah, Guð is like, it's the same word like God, just like the Icelandic version. And laug is a pool. So, but that was not part of the decision process. It's just something I realized along the way and made sense, which I feel like happened a lot with this album, that somehow things made sense even though we didn't try to.
Yeah.
They somehow got woven together.
That's what makes it great though. Like when you're trying, you're not going to really make great art when you try. It just happens no matter what the art is. Like, my dad, there's paintings on my wall that he used to paint. Like he would get stoned and paint for like 48 hours. And it would transform. Like what he started with and what ended up would be totally different, but he had no intention. He just started like doing it. And I think that's what all art is about, and that's the true form of expression. Because even like in his art, some of it, I can see his personality that nobody else can see. Like they just see a nice picture, but I see other things. Like I have this one in here. It's kind of a picture of like a lake in a forest, but it has darkness at the top. And a lot of people that look at it and are like, oh, that's pretty, blah, blah, blah. And when I tell them what I see, is like I see his darkness in his personality and the depression and the things going on in his head. They can't see that. And that's because I can see it because I know him. But see, that's the point of art, is everybody sees something different, and that's what's cool too.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like I think a lot of your personality goes into the art, but of course only the people that really know you are gonna see like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
For this and that. I don't know. I mean, this band is such a great platform for all the absolute random crap that comes into my mind and has nowhere to go.
Exactly.
I just have so many random ideas that come out of nowhere and they don't fit anywhere. And I'm like, here you go, band, please use this.
Absolutely.
They have
And
actually
that
been able
is-
to use it. Just start somewhere. I had this idea of her time traveling with a taser and like, using it on a battlefield. I don't know where this comes from. It just comes from somewhere. And we were actually able to use it. And I'm like, great. Because otherwise I just say like random things to my friends and it sounds weird.
See, I love that though. That is what art is and like the song you create has certain meanings to you, but whoever's listening, they put their own meanings to it.
Yeah.
And that's the true good music. Like when an artist says, oh, they need to know what it means. No, they don't need to know what it means to you. They just need to know what it means to them.
That's also a pretty cool thing about releasing all of our songs in Icelandic is, most listeners don't understand Icelandic, but they can assign their own meanings to the emotions within the song, even if they don't look up the translations for the lyrics.
Well, it's kind of like when American bands go to other countries and the people don't speak any English, but yet they're singing back the lyrics to them. And they know what they're singing, even though they don't understand the lyrics. I think that's totally cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So
yeah, I
what
mean, it would
else?
have been. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just thinking about the idea of, because a lot of Nordic bands write in English, which I understand, so that much more people can understand the lyrics. But I just found it, I find a lot of it, not all, but a lot of it is just, I don't know, I just feel like the lyrics are just done so everybody understands them. I'm really missing the uniqueness, the unique message in them. So we just
Yeah.
decided to do it a bit more unique and just have it in Icelandic.
Yeah, and also the flow, because when it comes to like translating, there's not the same flow in the song. So like when you're thinking in Icelandic and you're coming up with these thoughts and you're putting them into a song, like they make sense in that language. Now, if you try
Yeah.
to take those same thoughts and those same words and literally translate it, you don't get the same smoothness of the song or the same like feeling from the song.
Absolutely.
So I think the words, whatever language it is, don't really matter as much as the feeling that's provoked.
So do you actually enjoy listening to stuff in languages you don't speak?
I do.
That's
Okay.
great.
And,
Yeah.
and I'm somebody too that like when I go places, I want to try to learn their language anyway. I'm like that. Like some of them are really hard. Like I go to the Netherlands a lot, and I've tried learning Dutch, and even my Dutch friends there say, "Yeah, we can't even speak it well."
Oh, that's brilliant.
So you have no hope.
Brilliant.
Yeah, right. And so I was just at Wacken too, and
Yeah.
like I actually dated this girl from a small town in Germany, and I tried to learn German to converse with her instead of her always having to do English.
Yeah.
And that one's hard too. But
Yeah.
like Spanish, I can do. I was in Italy recently, and since I know Spanish and a little bit of Portuguese and a little bit of Italian, it's still understandable because they're all like related. French sometimes a little bit, because I go there, but still, I can't really communicate. But when you start like immersing yourself like that, you kind of don't even need to know what the words mean. I think the problem a lot of times when you're learning another language is you're thinking in your own language and trying to translate it in your head, so you can't keep up. So like
Definitely at the start. Yeah, that's definitely what you do. I mean, I think it's a huge, you've really, how do you say, overcome something when you start thinking in that language. That means you are definitely advancing a lot.
Yeah,
But,
and
I
that
mean, it's
takes
cool.
using it,
But I can hear you you like to really immerse yourself, and I like that because I'm also like, what's the point of going somewhere or traveling if you're just
Right.
gonna go to what you
Exactly.
know? 'Cause,
Exactly.
yeah, it makes sense. If you're like spending your time and money going somewhere, wouldn't you want to immerse yourself as much as you can?
Exactly.
Sounds,
And I
yeah.
love understanding how other people in the world think, like we have our perspective in our own country, whatever that is. And we
Yeah.
always want to think in that perspective. But like, even the fact of, okay, so I live in like predominantly the probably most capitalist country in the world. And
Mhm.
I love going to Denmark as well. I love that country. So I go there. And I remember
Mhm.
one time I went there and there was like 8 of us sitting around, and all from different countries, different political beliefs, different religious beliefs. Nobody was arguing, nobody was attacking. We were able to have a conversation. This one girl, she said something, it has stuck with me ever since. Because in the States, we talk about a country like Denmark. Oh, yeah, socialist country, and look at how much taxes they have to pay. And that's kind of the pitch. Like, you don't get to keep any of your money because the taxes are so high. And this girl says to me, she goes, yeah, we just don't think like that. We care about our countrymen. And I firmly believe, why should I have 2 cars and my neighbor have none? I have no problem sharing with my fellow countrymen. And that attitude, I was like, man, that's such an amazing attitude. And she even had said, without me saying, she goes, yeah, I know everybody likes to say how much taxes we pay, but it doesn't bother me because I know it's going towards my fellow countrymen. And
Mm.
like, what a great philosophy to have. Whether you agree with what structure the fiscal policy is doesn't matter to me. It's that attitude right there that I think is absolutely amazing. Like, in my country, everybody's in competition. We have this joke, keeping up with the Joneses,
Yeah.
and I like what she explained a lot better. And, it's like every country that I visit, I learn even more, because when you grow up in your own country and you never go anywhere else, you only know what you're told, not what any experiences. And especially like that's how I felt, my whole, growing up in the United States, it was always, oh, best country in the world, only free country, don't go anywhere else. It's scary out there. My ex-wife's, her father, her grandfather never even left his street his whole life. Like people, there are people a lot like that here that never go anywhere. They don't leave their town or whatever. And I remember the first time I went to Europe, I was like, wow, what were they talking about? I'm like, I feel just as free, if not more free over here. And it's nothing against my country at all. It's nothing to do with my country. It has to do with, I'll use the word brainwashing. Because you're in this bubble that you can only think that way. So that's also why I like to immerse myself, because it's like, I want to know how different people think, because I feel you learn a lot more from people different than you than people the same as you.
Yeah, and I think music is a great portal into that sort of
totally
immersion.
Exactly. Even the fact of you talk about the different types of metal, they are a lot of them from different sections of the world.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that's the only places, but that's the influence. So it gives you a little insight to that part of the world too, I think, what people are singing about, how they're playing, stuff like that. Especially too, like when you have bands like I was talking about The Who, where they have the Mongolian instruments, like it just gives you more insight to their culture. And I think you're right. I actually have this idea to solve all the world's problems. And that is, we have a major metal music festival that the whole world is required to attend, except the political leaders. They are banned. Security has a little sign with a big X on their wristband. And, and we just all get into a big wall of death mosh pit.
That's a great idea.
Work it all out. And work
I
it
would
all
definitely come.
Right?
Work it all out in the mosh pit.
Exactly. Because listen, after a good mosh, we all hug each other, and then we're not killing people in the outside world.
Great idea.
And
you had your release, like the release of the need to, I don't know, go crazy or
right. And then you understand the philosophy of no matter what part of the world that person in the pit's from, if they fall, pick them up. Don't try to keep kicking them while they're down.
That's the rule of the mosh pit, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Like, listen, there's way more fights that go on at redneck country shows with Jack Daniels than do at metal shows with mosh pits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, we don't need war. We just need a mosh pit. That's it.
It's a good idea.
I
agree with you.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I love that.
So tell everybody how they can reach out to you guys on socials, check out the new album, buy your merch. They can't listen to my show unless they buy your merch or your music, by the
way. We are Hrafnablót, and we are at Hrafnablót on every single platform. You can also find us at hrafnablót.is, which is... We'll have a merch store going live close to the launch of the album. The album itself, Guðlaugar Saga, releases 11th of September. We have a single coming out. Our last pre-album single is coming out Friday, the 21st of August, along with a video. And we encourage everybody to check us out.
I love it. I encourage them too. And man, I really liked hearing you say the band name because it sounded so cool the way you say it. I'm listening to you each time and go, man, I gotta be able to say it like that because that sounds good.
Yeah, you need to listen to it again and again until you can say it. It's not too hard. You can do it. Just listen to it over and over, and
I got as far this time as Hrafnablót.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay, see, I'm getting better.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my homework. I'm gonna just say it like 1,000 times.
Yes, it's your homework.
so that when I see
teachers, I'm gonna check.
so that when you guys, I see you guys live, I can scream it from the crowd and say it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
It's a good plan.
Right? And
Yeah.
now, and what you said, you're a teacher, so now I'm in trouble because I'm gonna really have to work hard.
Yeah. I'm gonna check how well you did with your homework.
Okay, I'll hold you to that. Well,
Yeah.
well, you guys rock. I love your music. Everybody else will too. That's why they have to go check it out. And thanks a lot for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.